Hi, everyone, and welcome to NK Real Talks. People ask what the real is for. It's for real estate. Today, we got Yanny Lee from Rad Marketing, and what we're going to talk about is the art of investing in pre-construction. So let's get started. Why should one actually consider buying pre-construction?
Yeah. So first of all, I'm an investor myself, so I'm speaking from my heart. Buying pre-construction, I think the first thing people need to understand is you're giving time for the money to grow for you. Unlike stocks, when you're buying, let's say, $50,000 worth of stocks, I'm going to put in 100% money in there for it to go up in value, and it could come crashing down the next day. For real estate, even if you're buying a $500,000 worth of condo, you don't have to take out that whole chunk of money. You're mostly investing in, 10, 15, maybe 20%. And you're giving at least 3, 4, if not 5 years for the value to go up for capital appreciation.
Yeah.
So you're just letting that 5, 10, 15% money grow for you over 3, 4 years.
So that is actually one of the concepts we're going to talk about, that whole leverage portion. Because if you're buying any stock, let's say you're buying $500,000 worth of stock, it goes up 10%. It's 10% on that $500,000. So you put down like the entire money up front.
Yeah.
But when you're buying, especially pre-construction, first of all, you pay 10, 15, 20% in small increments over a span of 2 to 3 years. And then the entire amount is compounding. So let's just assume if it's a $500,000 condo, historically condos have been going up for the last 20 years, about 6.7%, let's call it 7%. So each year, a $500,000 condo will go up about $35,000. So after 2 years, that's $70,000, 4 years, $140,000. If you've put down, let's say even 20% of that, that would be $100,000. So in 4 years, you've actually made $140,000 on your $100,000.
Yep.
So this is why it's good and it's attractive for a lot of people. You lock down the value of that condo for extended period of time until you actually close on it.
Yes.
And even then, you get a mortgage.
Yes. And one little thing I always tell, I think my single line of the perfect answer to why buying pre-construction is, for gentlemen, everybody would like a new car, right? You don't want a pre-owned car. For the ladies, everybody want a new Louis Vuitton as opposed to a used Louis Vuitton. So buying new, there's always a market, there's always a demand and preference for it. One other thing just want to point out is, of course, people will compare and say resale value is here, but at any one point, buying pre-construction will be slightly higher. That already explained it. And it will justify why you're paying slightly higher at any one point to buy pre-construction because you want new. Yes, so buying brand new, you can also customize your floor plans. I want to change something in the kitchen. I want to do some upgrades. That's also another fun part of buying pre-construction. You are also covered in the new home carry-on warranty. So not like, okay, I'm buying from a floor plan, I cannot visualize, I don't get to see the unit. Like, am I protected as a buyer, as an investor? So carry-on, new home warranty, you're covered, the 1 year is the cosmetic defects, up to 2nd year is plumbing, water infiltration, electricals, and then up to 7 years, you're covered with the structural.
That is actually a huge point because, exactly. The first year, everything is covered. Anything in the unit is covered. And actually, before you go in, you do a pre-delivery inspection. So if there are any defects in there, you will actually be able to get the builder rectified. And then during the first year, when you're living, you will find some stuff, they will still come and fix it. So first year, everything is covered. And then the 2nd year, you get water penetration and everything else. And then up to 7 years, major structural defects.
Yes.
So this will help you actually... I think helps with the maintenance fee too, because if there's any issues, the builder has to come in and fix it so it doesn't go out of the residents' pockets.
Yes. And of course, when you're buying pre-construction, one thing I do a lot of homework at any time too. Before you look at the floor plans and the price or anything, you look at location, but you also want to know who you're buying from.
Exactly.
Right? Unfortunately, here and there, we have heard some incidents where some developers cancel their project. You don't want to set your money aside thinking it will grow in a few years. And then a year or two later, they say cancel and then return money to you. Now you're priced out of the market.
Yeah.
We never want that to happen. So I think as a buyers too, we all need to do a little bit more homework and agents ourselves to know who are we working for, which project are we selling for with the reputable big developers. Mostly we will work with like more Canadian developers as well.
Yeah.
So choose wisely.
That is actually a really important one because I've personally seen people have come to me that they had projects canceled on them and they weren't working with me. They said, listen, we hear that this builder is not going to be actually building this project. They bought the project about 4 years before. One of them paid around like less than $500,000 for a 2-bedroom along Yonge Street. We don't want to be specific, but when they paid for it, they could have actually bought somewhere else for the same money. 4 years later, the same unit pre-construction was trading about $750,000. She was totally priced out of the market and she was devastated and she couldn't even get the money. It took another year till the developer actually said, listen, we're canceling the project. They returned the money. But that is really important that when you're actually buying pre-construction, you research the builder. So far we've talked about a few benefits. One is the leverage factor. The second is the customization. You can actually go in and customize the unit the way you like it. So when you move in, you don't have to touch a thing. Third, when you're getting it from a reputable builder, you know what you're buying into and you have the warranty to back it. What are the other benefits?
Other thing I would say is what else? To see a whole new community coming to life, right? For example, this project that we're selling in Forest Hill, it's a master plan community. It's 3 phases, 3 towers. If I'm buying it number 1, like phase 1, I'm the first round of buyers. I will get great pricing. I will get some good incentives too. And then to see the whole new community coming to life, that is really exciting for us too.
So that is a foray you're talking about, right? So when like in that project, there's about 3 towers, you're buying in the first one. So of course, then each phase is going to become more and more expensive. And when it's a master plan community, you got the whole area getting developed, which increases the value even more. And that one is specifically on the corner of St. Clair and Bathurst. You got the streetcar, you got the subway.
Right next to Sinclair West subway station and
That's
a big
crazy.
Loblaws.
Everything is there.
Exactly. I'm a foodie. I tell everybody that. Did you know in that area, there's the top 10 pastries in Toronto. There are 2 of them in Sinclair West area. Sinclair and Bathurst.
Nick, did you know that?
I'm a croissant person. Everybody knows that. Every morning I walk in with a croissant. 2 of the best places right there on Sinclair West. Go check it out. Some people who like other foodies, they go there for like a brunch place. There are a few French restaurants. I can go on and on about food.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. I know in terms of the area, Forest Hill is one of the best one. You're like, first of all, probably, 10, 15-minute walk to Casaloma too? Because I know from the view of the drone images you have, you can see Casaloma there too.
Yes, 8 minutes. If you drive, walk, I would say 15-ish minutes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's a gorgeous area.
Yes.
So that's another benefit of it. I think the other thing that when you're buying pre-construction that you can actually benefit from is the whole fact that you're buying into a condo that is, for example, like you have some of the higher end units attached to it too. So you got like these boutique collection. So you're going to be sharing amenities as well as like building with, what is that going for? Like $2,000 a square foot and higher?
Yes.
Something like
some
that.
High-end ones.
Some high-end ones. So that actually, increases the value of your property as well.
So for Foray, specifically for this project, we do have altogether about 1,000 units in 3 towers. But the first building we're building is 350 units. Second tower, another 350. So on the top of the second tower, 23rd floor and up, we have limited larger units with tons of upgrades. We call these the boutique units. They're basically more for end users, downsizers. They can go from easily 1,000 square feet up to 2,000 square feet. 10-foot ceilings, Gagano appliance upgrade, engineer hardwood floor with the herringbone and so on, you name it, marble countertop, tiles and so on, and a standalone tub in, like a 2,000 square feet condo.
Standard too.
I love it. They all come with the price. These ones, the whole point is they will have a separate private lobby with designated elevators, 2 of them, that go straight up to the top. So again, for the gentleman, I would say if you're driving your Ferrari and your G-Wagon or your Bentley, you're going to go into
I got none of those.
You're going to go into the garage and then you're going to go into just the boutique lobby or boutique elevators that's designated for the top floor. More private, more exclusive, and then go straight up to the top floors. So it's kind of like a Yorkville condo that you live in the condo building, and then you have those private residents on the top. So those who are looking for larger size and more exclusive, those are the boutique units. Yet in the entire project, I have pricing starting from 600,000 that you can be in such a prestigious neighborhood and such a great quality development that you will be part of
like
it.
while we're talking about it, like about the project, that's one of the, I would say, top projects that I've seen getting launched in terms of, first of all, quality of finishes. Like, I mean, even when you're buying the one bedroom or the studio, the finishing level is unreal. Like, I haven't seen something to that quality for a long time. I haven't even seen anything, I would say, that gives so much included in the price. And again, that's because of the neighborhood, that's because of the builder, and that's not something you can come by every day.
Yep.
While we're in the topic of the benefits of the pre-construction, I think the other one is just extended deposit structure that you guys are also offering at Foray as well.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, nowadays in the pre-construction industry, there are some creative deposit structures or incentives for clients too. So yes, developer will give you, these, whatever the set deposit structure. If you really need it, there's maybe, small room to extend certain in-between deposits and so on. Doesn't hurt to ask. Also, some projects, they may be giving some credit on closing. Or for Foray, we're actually offering a big cashback for certain units that we're promoting right now. For example, the studio units starting from the 600,000, we already included cashback discount from 60 to 80,000.
Wow.
So for the younger crowd, first-time investors, whatnot, $600K to be in Forest Hill, right next to the subway, grocery store, cafes, and all that. Where else can you buy a $600K nowadays?
Yeah. And in terms of the cashback, so because a lot of people ask me how it happens, can you explain at what stage the cashback happens?
Yes. So there's always cashback and credit on closing. People here nowadays, be careful with it. Credit on closing is if you're buying $1 million unit, you're getting whatever the credit on closing. On your mortgage, on paper, on the agreement, it's still written as $1 million unit. So you still need to get that mortgage amount. And then the credit on closing will come by closing. It's an adjustment on the price. Whereas let's say $1 million, if I'm giving you whatever discount, a cashback, it's an upfront discount. So then your actual price will be adjusted to 9 something.
Got it.
Or in this case, our studio units was about 700,000. We're giving that adjustment upfront to promote these like good size studio units facing the park.
That's amazing. So you get it upfront.
You get it upfront. Those are called cashback.
And the benefit of that is also that you pay less deposit. So
less deposit, your mortgage amount is less.
Okay, perfect. Yes. So so I think like we covered all the benefits of buying pre-construction. We also talked about Foray because that's, I think, one of the biggest and best pre-con projects right now that we have with amazing offerings, and both in terms of incentives, cashback, and just price per square foot. It's really attractive based on the project and level of quality they give. So what's next in terms of buying into pre-construction? What should people actually watch out for? What should they actually pay attention to?
Yes. So one thing, I myself as a buyer, I always read my agreement. As much as it's intimidating, is 100 pages, whatever it is a legal and binding agreement that you sign for. Is your hard-earned money, whatever amount that is. Please read the agreement. Even for us who's been in the industry for 10 plus years, whatever, there's no way we will understand all the legal jargon, right? You read through it just so you get an idea, okay, is this the unit floor plan features and finishes that I was told on the sales floor in the sales office? You read through it, and then the best way is, of course, get a real estate lawyer to review the agreement during that 10 days.
Actually knows pre-construction, because I see a lot of real estate lawyers that say, okay, you know what, I'm going to read it. They will literally they're not familiar with the terms, and they just cause panic in the deal.
Yes, that's true. I was going to say, so with agents ourselves, we always have a circle of real estate lawyers who know pre-construction really well.
So key.
So they can explain it better and educate the clients, the buyers.
Yeah.
It's normal that during the 10 days cooling period after you sign that all these questions will come up. It's normal. Do not freak out. It's all education for you, for me, for the clients, right? So go through with the lawyer. They cost, I don't know, $150 or $250. They will review it, and just to point out the important things for the buyer. Is that what you bought? Is that what was promised? Anything that is not written in black and white, please make sure it's in writing. Because otherwise, 4 years later, nobody remember what that conversation
100%. I mean,
was.
like, I know for a fact during the 10-day cooling off period, I mean, for those who don't know, like if you're buying pre-construction condos in Ontario, you have 10 days after you sign and the builder executes to review the contract. And, if you're not happy,
Ask
you
all
can
your
return
questions.
it. Get everything answered. And it's so key. Even like, if you're paying, let's say I've seen like some lawyers charge $500, it's nothing compared to the headache you're going to serve yourself.
It's worth it.
And also, it's not my job to give you legal opinion. So it should be done within that 10 days. And literally like a lot of unknowns will become known. And you'll also know what kind of costs you're going to have on closing as well. I mean, like
closing caps, yes.
Yeah, that leads us to our closing caps because that's one of the incentives that actually Foray offers and a lot of other builders. And that's really important because if you don't have that, that could cost you a lot of money on closing, right?
Yes. So we recently looked at some other presentation and these numbers. So I can tell you for 1-bedroom developmental charges, for 2021, it was about, or 2022, it was about $38,000. That's part of your biggest closing cost for a 1-bedroom unit in a condo.
It's almost like a land transfer tax over there.
Where is it at for 2023 proposed for May? You are looking at easily $77,000. We did a chart the other day at State of the Market. So imagine you're a buyer, you bought whatever your $600,000 worth of unit. If nothing is capped in the agreement, of course, any standard agreement will say, probably it's not capped, except for this case, Foray, Canderel, this developer, they're very nice. They wrote it in the agreement. So at least it will say it's capped at $16,000, $18,000, $22,000, whatever that is to protect you. But people, again, if the lawyers as well, if they're not familiar, they would be like, oh my God, on top of your price, you're paying another $18,000, even though it's capped for the levies. That's a lot. But did you know that your levy is supposed to be $77,000 by closing? These are education we agents and buyers, we all need to know because that is my bottom line for investment, right? So definitely ask for the developmental levies to be capped. Some other ones people may ask is, a park levy, Section 37, meter installation, and so on. Lawyers, they will be doing their job. Don't be surprised if they list out 20 items and say, I need the developer to delete it. Yes, lawyers doing your job and educating the client, that's fine. Doesn't matter, the developer will have to give you all those. Sometimes it's like a $50 admin fee, check fee here and there.
But we got to look at the bigger picture,
look
like the big
caps.
items.
That is way more money that you are actually saving when you ask for the caps.
So when you cap it, the difference the builder pays to the city.
Yes.
So that's
so if I'm capping $20,000, whereas your levies is $70,000, that means that $50,000 difference, the builder is taking that cost. That is also why pre-construction price will never come down. Like government and all these fees keeps going, construction costs and so on. The price keeps going up. The pre-construction costs will not come down. It will only take us maybe a little longer time to sell our project. That's fine. Does not stop us from delivering such a great quality project.
No, that is so key. I remember right now, like I was talking to a client, a 2-bedroom actually that was purchased a while back ago, back in 2016. The 2-bedroom cap that we put on that unit was $8,000.
Oh,
I saw it. I'm like, wow, you're lucky right now.
2 bedrooms are $123,000.
That's crazy. And what's the cap right now for the 2-bedroom? Do you know at Foray?
At Foray, we capped it at $18,000. Yes.
Yeah. That's
any
huge
caps
saving.
will help.
And again, these don't go to the builder; it goes directly to the city. So that's one thing to watch out for. The other thing is right to assign, I would say.
And lease, yes.
And lease, if you're buying for investment, because things change. You may, that's an exit strategy. I never tell my clients, buy and assign and flip and make money. It should be used as some sort of an emergency.
Flexibility, yes.
If life changes, you need to get out of the contract. Because a lot of times, if you want to get out of the contract and the market is not good, you may have to lose on it. So don't count on it as a way to make money. Always buy with an intention to close. But right to assign is one of the big ones that to look out for. And also, what's the other one? Right to lease during occupancy.
Right to lease during occupancy.
you don't own it, the builder owns it
Yes,
essentially.
so some people may not understand. When you get the keys to a unit that's called occupancy phase, you don't own the official title to the unit yet, so builders still own the unit.
Yeah.
I'm giving you keys to move in for now
Yeah.
and take occupancy. And you will be paying some like occupancy fees and so on. As an investor, we want to make sure the agreement is written that I will have the right to rent out the unit right away and put in a tenant.
Yeah.
So I'm not paying fees and having a vacant unit. That is very important for any investors. Always ask for that.
Yeah,
Plus
so
the free assignment.
Free assignment. And then is there anything else they should watch out for when buying?
Mm.
Well, I mean, like they got to make sure they're buying in a good location.
Yes. Parking as well. Parking spot. People also don't understand that the city is really limiting the number of parking for any new projects. You may have seen some downtown project. The whole tower is 300 units. They may have zero
Why is
parking
that?
spot because of the whole city design, traffic congestion and so on. They're really trying to limit the number of cars,
Oh, interesting.
right? And the gridlocks and all that.
Yeah.
Forget about downtown; it's craziness a lot of
Yeah.
times. But even uptown now on the highway, like 401 consistently, it's so busy. 404 DVP and so
crazy.
on. So, and this is my personal tips. Anyone who buy a unit at the time for pre-construction, if it is a must for you to have a parking and you do qualify to buy a parking, please buy it at the time. Two things. One, the price for parking spot will eventually go up, same as your unit.
Yeah.
Right, it's real estate. So the fact that it's selling 80,000 right now is going to be 90 and 100,000 in a few more years. Second, the fact that you are eligible today, if you don't buy it, you're giving up that right. And when we say eligible is, let's say a tower of 300 units, maybe we only have 40 or 50 parking spot. So the parking spot price is already
That is
high.
crazy.
Sorry,
Yeah.
right? But it's becoming more scarce, and we will go backwards from I'm going to sell these $100,000 worth of parking spot or more to penthouse, 3-bedroom, 2
go
plus
from
den,
larger
and
ones.
larger units. So for those people who are eligible, please take it because afterwards
Not
it may
to
be
name
gone.
projects, but what's the most expensive parking spot you've seen downtown right now?
I think 198,000 is what I
know.
heard.
I know which one that is. But yeah, that's crazy. What the prices for parking spots are going. The other thing about the parking spot is even if later on you can buy it from someone else, because I've seen it firsthand, a lot of mortgage companies do not mortgage that right away.
Mm-hmm.
So if your mortgage comes for refinance, maybe when you're refinancing, you can attach it, but they're not gonna make a separate mortgage for the parking spot. So you may have to buy it cash.
Yes, and that's also for myself. Any project that I buy, I would buy near the subway line.
Yeah.
People look at the Yonge Street subway line, Yonge Finch, Yonge Shepherd, Yonge Dundas. Foray is on the other side, on the University subway line, which is the one that takes you to Yorkdale and York University. Where we are at in Forest Hill is Sinclair West subway station. It's 3 stops, 10 minutes, because I did a GoPro video to take the video.
Interesting.
3 stops will take you to St. George Station. That is University of Toronto Varsity Campus.
Yeah.
They have 100,000 students every year. And then for the working class, you're going to go another few more minutes, 15 minutes. 6 stops or so will take you to King, Queen West, and all the
Amazing.
financial district. So buy anywhere that's along subway line, cannot go wrong with that.
When I hear King Street, I hear entertainment district. But anyways, the other thing is when you're buying a 1-bedroom, I think as an agent, I say don't really push for, even if you get qualified for parking, if you don't need it, if you're buying for investment, in my opinion, they shouldn't be buying it because that increases the price so much. For resale, you're going to have issues selling it. And what I've seen for the last, I would say 3 years, when we run the numbers, doing comparables for clients that want to sell units, especially 1-bedroom plus den, units in the building that have parkings tend to sell less price per square foot. They could be more expensive, but the price per square foot is less than the units that don't have parking. You sell them at a higher price per square foot. So
Because parking spots are more and more
yeah,
expensive.
and
too.
a lot of people don't actually need it now downtown.
Yes.
So anything else they should watch out for? I think.
I think we cover everything.
Okay.
So great quality developer,
Yeah.
location, design, and great
then-
value and incentives.
And make sure what's included in terms of finishes as well, because a lot of, for everything is standard, but a lot of times you go in design centers and you see, the cabinet is there, but the backsplash is optional or upgrade, but you don't know about it.
Yes.
So, just make sure you do your research.
And I was going to mention, do call Nima and come to our on-site foray sales model.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It is 4,000
It's
square
beautiful.
feet. not too many developers or projects right now in the GTA will actually build the entire model suite. We have a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 700 square feet
Crazy,
model.
that
Everything
model.
you see is pretty much standard. So you can go walk through the whole unit.
And you guys have the
touch,
boutique
feel.
model too, which
Yes.
is you see all the nice high-end appliances.
Yes.
Before we finish it off, I know you guys have another nice project coming up, which is, I would say, the price point is really attractive. It's in Hamilton, Corktown. Let's talk about it, because at the time we're actually recording it hasn't been launched, so we don't have much information, but let's just get some intro to it.
Yes, so Corktown, I'm going to tease you guys by saying it's launching mid-May.
Yeah.
Price starts at $300,000, which is very attractive. So for those investors, buyers who want to be in Hamilton, which is like 10 minutes or so drive to McMaster's University, there's a big demand for student housing, right?
Got
so
it.
it's great investment. They're renting for like almost $5 per square foot, but yet your
That's crazy,
entry price
$5 a
point
square foot,
is
yeah.
300,000, 400,000, 500,000. So that would be another option you can look at if you're not looking at 4A.
Yeah, that's great for investment. And I know if you're a international student, you're going to be buying below $500,000. There are some
Yes.
great options there.
Yes.
You're not going to get taxed on it. Yanny, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank
If
you for
anyone
having
has any
me.
questions about Rad Marketing projects, I know you guys are working on One Delia right now, Leaside Common, Corktown Craft, and am I missing anything?
Baby Village,
4A.
we still have some units,
4A
and then
and Baby
4A,
Village, yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
and
so-
some more very nice prime location coming
up.
soon.
Yeah. So for any questions about upcoming project, you can reach me or Yanny from Rad Marketing. And as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.